Hey, this is James with Interscan, and I'm going to do an unboxing today and a little bit of a demo of the Halimeter. So first things you're going to see when you open your box is your certificate with all of the values you'll need to set your instrument up. You have a manual here. It also comes with instructions on how to put together your sensor cartridge and attach it. We have a power pack adapter with associated USB. We have a sampling tube adapter, as well as 20 straws that come with your instrument. And last but not least, have our Halimeter itself. This should be everything that you need to use your Halimeter and take measurements. Alright, when you receive your Halimeter, in order to turn it on, you just have your power button at the top here, this green button. If you would like to navigate through the menus, you just need to use the keypad, the arrow pads here, up and down. If you'd like to advance through a menu, you need to use the right arrow. And then in order to navigate back, you use the left arrow to return. And then to turn off the device is the same way you turned it on. Press the power button, and then the right arrow to confirm. Here in measurement mode, you can see all of the different fields. Mode on up in the top left tells you that the pump is on. We can stop it by hitting stop, and turning it back on by hitting enter. You can see the values here in cubic centimeters telling you how fast your pump is running. You have your zero in the top right, which allows you to zero the sensor if it's necessary. If you need to zero it, just press enter, and you should see values reappear. In the top right, you also have your gas type. In this graph, you can see a range from 0 to 20, and that would be 0 to 20 ppb in this case because of your indicated value. In the bottom right, you can see your battery level currently. Just above it is your current measurement, your live measurement. In the bottom left, you can see a field that says save. That indicates that your SD card is currently saving the data that you're seeing. And then at the very bottom of the screen in the middle, you can see the current timer that tells you how long you've been logging the data. So when you receive your device, you can go through the setup menu, and you'll see that specific values are already input. For example, your flow rate is set according to your calibration, so you should not change this part. You can change your sampling mode from constant to Halimeter. You can also set your date and time through this menu. Your alarm level. In the setup menu, there are a few of these options that are meant for internal use only. They're here as a reference, which is gas calibration, digital calibration, sensor cartridge, and factory settings. These typically you won't have to change anything in the setup menu other than your sampling mode. If you guys have any questions about the various functions in the setup menu, feel free to reach out to us. Alright, so I'd like to show you the different sampling modes that are available. Currently, I have constant sampling mode on, and you can see the pump is running and continuous measurements are taking place. If you require taking breath measurements, what you'll want to do is stop the pump by hitting stop, and then navigate out to the main menu. You can hit stop again. We'll go down to our setup, and then change your sampling mode to Halimeter mode. And then in order to save this mode, you have to power off the device and power it back on. And then when you go back into measure mode, it'll have your sensor stabilization menu again. Once your sensor has stabilized, you can restart your pump by pressing enter. And if you need to, you can re-zero your sensor from this screen. The major difference of halimeter mode from constant sampling mode is this is designed to detect VSC levels from your breath and not just from ambient measurement in the environment. When you get ready to take your measurements, what you'll want to do is enter the measure mode. Here you'll have a 5-minute countdown to stabilize the electronics in your sensor. And as soon as this counter is done, you can zero your device. So once our sensor is stabilized, what you'll want to do is press enter in order to start the pump, and you can see the pump running right here. You can also hear the pump running. If you navigate with the right arrow, you can see the graph mode. Graph mode just gives you a good indication of what's happening over time with your sensor. We recommend waiting that 5-minute time to stabilize your sensor and then waiting for a stable signal. If you see 0 and only zeros, you will need to actually re-zero the device. Here we see some variability going on. This is normal. From here, I'll show you how to zero the device. You will just navigate up. The 0 is highlighted at the top. We have a 0 down here, which is good. We'll press enter and that will reset your 0. And you should see some fluctuations here. If you have sat for several minutes and there is no change in the 0, you will need to re-zero the device. In order to actually take a breath measurement, you will want to set up your sampling tube adapter. So you'll press down on your quick fix adapter and plug in. And then you'll want to attach your sample straw to the end of this sample tube adapter. From this point, you can hit enter and a 3-minute waiting period will pop up. During this waiting period, you should be keeping your mouth closed so that volatiles build up in the back of your mouth. And at the end of this time, a 30-second timer will go off and you will take your sample straw and place it in your mouth, and it will take your measurements for you in a quick 30-second snapshot. At the end of the 30 seconds, there will be you can see on the graph, a peak, and it will return the values from your breath. So I'm going to walk you guys through how to take a sample on halimeter mode. You'll want to make sure that the device is first zeroed, of course. Once it's zeroed, you just need to press enter and a 3-minute timer will pop up. During the 3-minute timer, you need to have your mouth closed the whole time and just breathe normally. This allows the volatiles to build up in the back of your throat and your mouth. And then at the end of the 3-minute timer, you'll take the straw and place it in the back of your mouth and close your mouth around the straw and just breathe normally. You should not be breathing into the device or blowing into the device during this time. Just breathe normally and the device will take a 30-second snapshot of what your breath is at. At the end of the 30 seconds, display will pop up and will show you your reading. Once you are done taking your measurements, if you want to see recent measurements, you can navigate to Files and then see Recent Measurements, and they'll be displayed on the screen as seen. This was a review of our halimeter device. Thanks for watching. Once again, I'm James from Interscan. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us.